Hey everyone, it is Brido here, and welcome to episode 49 of our Liverpool Career Mode series. We have a jam-packed episode for you, but before we get to all that, let's talk about the live stream for episode 50. It's going to be April 6th, which is tomorrow as of this recording, at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you're on the East Coast, that's going to be at 1 p.m., and if you are in the UK, that's going to be at 6 p.m. And if you want to figure out if you're in another place of the world, you can check that out just by going to worldtimezone.com. and put in 10 a.m. Pacific time for British Columbia. That's going to get you exactly where it is going to be on your time zone, and it's going to be a 5-hour live stream, so that'll be finishing up for me at 3 p.m., and for you guys in the UK, that'll be around 11 p.m., and as I said, for the guys over in the East Coast, that's going to be around 6, so it's going to be a long live stream. I'm not expecting everybody to be around for the whole thing, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be something new. I haven't done something like this. I have worked out the kinks though, so things should be pretty smooth, but the unfortunate part nonetheless is the fact that I'm going to have to do it on Twitch. I can't do it on YouTube. I figured out that I might be able to do it on YouTube, but I haven't actually figured out the exact way of doing that yet, so it's too close to call it for sure. So what I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to leave a link right on this video here so you guys can see that. I'm going to leave a link in the description. I'm going to leave a link in also the comments below. I'm going to be spamming you guys the link so you know where it is, hopefully. You guys won't miss it, and if you want to know where it is, you can hit me up at Twitter at Brido, BRYDO0. Ask me where it is. I'll have it probably on my tweets as well in the afternoon, or sorry, in the morning when I'm doing it. And yeah, I'll try and make this as easy as possible to find, but it will be on Twitch, and I have an account there, which is Brido as well. So BRYDO0, and if you look for that on Twitch, you should be able to find me. I'll be making it all pretty for the live stream, and then we'll get it going, and pretty much I'll be going almost non-stop for 5 hours, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'll be taking your guys' questions as well, and playing around the formation a little bit, seeing what we can do there. I have no clue how much gameplay that's actually going to turn into, but I assume we're actually going to play quite a bit of the season. It's going to be a lot of fun. I might be eating lunch at one point or another, but it's going to be a good time, and I'm very excited to do it. But that is it pretty much for that, and as I said, all the information should be in the comments, should be everywhere so you guys don't miss it. But let's jump into this episode, which is episode 49. And we're starting off here with the transfer deadline, and I took what you guys said. Overall, I tried to take it, use it in this little transfer deadline area here. Tried to play around with some ideas, and I came up with a couple things. Charlie Austin was the first signing. This is someone that Gerwood wanted for quite some time. I don't know if there was a lot of support from him from you guys, but he's a guy that watched a lot of the YouTube videos. So I really thought, you know what? He had a pretty good narrative for him to bring in. He seemed like a pretty solid player. And I decided to give him a shot. We'll see what he can do, because we don't really have that straight-up striker to, you know, play in that role. I guess for Yeschel, I guess. So he's going to be able to do that there. And then also I brought Lallana in. He was a player that I've seen the past couple people asking for. And then most recently, in the most recent video, someone else asking for Lallana as well. He seems like a very solid player. And I did ship off Zaha for him. The reason why I did this was because I wanted to get someone out the door for a player like him. And Zaha kind of losing his position of where he should be. He could play as a striker role, but we brought in Austin as kind of the real replacement for him. And he has a lot of potential, but I really feel like he was brought in not to a lot of fanfare. There was some people that wanted to see him, but again, one of those players that pretty much, from what I understand, because I don't watch a lot of other career modes, is a player a lot of other teams have. So I thought, you know what, we'll give him away in this deal, but we'll bring in Lallana. He'll be able to be a pretty solid attacking midfielder for us, and we bring in a couple solid players, I think, overall. So we'll see how they can do for our team, but we're going to move on from that to our game here, I believe, in the Capital One Cup. Yeah, that's against Middlesbrough, and pretty solid team to face off here for our first matchup in the Capital One Cup. But you know what? They're a team that we're probably going to be able to handle. We do start a pretty solid lineup for this one, but at the same time, too, I tried to mix it up a little bit to give some other people a chance. Specifically, we give Lallana a start because we wanted to see how he can do in his first game, but he usually will be more of a squad rotation player, someone that can come in every once in a while, but we're really not going to push him into the lineup that much. Same thing for Austin as well. He is a player that we're going to bring in. He's not getting the start in this game because I really wanted to make sure that we could get a win, because we've really not been playing that great overall. And as I said, brought some players in to kind of mix it up a little bit, but you can see usually when we play a game like this in the Capital One Cup, we kind of start with a little bit of a smaller lineup and then work our way up when we get into the bigger games. This one I wanted to make sure that I actually had the players that I could really make an impact with in this one, just to make sure that we could get the win out of it. And the other point I want to make as well is that For this episode specifically, actually, I switched up my controls quite a bit. And I haven't actually really talked about this, but I have been playing with pretty much automatic and like semi-controls for all my positioning and shooting, passing, pretty much everything, lobbing, and also I guess crossing were other things too that were covered by that. And I pretty much just switched everything to being manual, and I played a game of this with those settings, and it was a massive change. Really hard to do overall, and I like some of the changes overall that felt to me like it made it a lot easier to defend, number one, and number two, also it could really lead to some great attacking plays, but I had to kind of scale it back a bit. So what I've done is I've kept my own positioning, so I switch my players manually, which means I have to make the decisions for that, which I find the positive from that being overall that I make my own decisions, right? It's my fault if I'm not there for the player. The one thing I have to get used to is that usually I'm used to someone, let's say, switching over to where the ball is going to be if it's going in the air and it's going to be a header or something like that. I need to actually move my player to that position now. Before it was usually just the player would move for me and then I'd make the decision I'm jumping up and trying to get the ball, right? Now it's at the point where I have to move my player to that spot, which isn't all that much to ask for, but it is a little bit detrimental to the offensive attack sometimes. And, you know, if you're not paying attention, it can also hurt you maybe when you're on a corner defensively. And besides from that, though, I really feel like it's been a positive overall because I've been able to play a little bit better D. And you can see in this game here against Middlesbrough that you really didn't see that many defensive chances against us. You can see from the match facts here that they did get a couple shots off, but really it was overall very solid. I was happy with that. I tried to do the passing in completely manual form, and it definitely helps in some ways, but the problem that I was really finding with the manual passing is I was losing a lot of the possession because I had to be super precise with my actual passes. So in the game against Middlesbrough there, I was actually using manual passing, which led to some really great chances, as you can see. The lob pass there, a couple other ones too, a couple shots off the post, and then that nice goal by Cavani. It was pretty good overall, but really there weren't that many other chances than that, so I kind of had to pull that back a bit. I think it was on semi before. I've switched it back to semi. It might have been on a higher one than that because I've played around with it now a couple of games, and it feels better this way, but also feels a little bit more loose. Because one of the things I actually have issue with when it comes to the passing normally is that I want to make these great, through ball plays that could turn into a really great chance, but usually the computer that, when it's trying to assist you with that doesn't know you're trying to do that. So that's one of the real negatives with it, that when I was using the manual passing, it was amazing, felt really good. I could make whatever pass I wanted to, but when I wanted to make that tic-tac-toe pass, that's when it really fell apart, because usually when you're doing a tic-tac-toe pass or just a simple pass where you're passing to one player to another, the actual assist passing really helps out because it makes it so that you don't really have to aim properly, and if it's just a 1-2 touch pass and then you're off again, then that's another case too where you don't have to aim that much. The AI kind of knows what you want to do, and it's pretty easy. When you have the manual controls though, you have to take your time, and I guess if you're really good with them, then maybe you can make it the ultimate manual passing, which would be fantastic. But I wanted to make sure that we weren't dropping points at this point, and I wanted to make sure that we're doing as well as we could. So I switched that back to semi, not automatic, but semi. And then the other thing I switched back, I believe, was the shots, because I played one game with everything at manual, and that was in, I guess, just like kickoff mode. And for that one, the shots were horrible because I'm so used to actually having the assists on my shots. Sometimes I get a good chance, but then there are other chances that I just blast wide or something like that. So for this case, I've switched that to semi. I think it was on semi before. It might have been on automatic. I don't know, but it feels pretty good again. Feels a little bit looser, but I feel pretty happy with it overall. And it's going to give me, again, that opportunity to maybe create a little bit more of my own ideas with my shots. And again, I don't want it to be too much of that, but just the right amount overall. So everything else, though, I switched to manual, so it's going to be kind of fun and interesting to see that. And you'll see in the live stream, too, that it kind of leads to a little bit less of possession. That's kind of a negative to it, but it really helps on playing D. It really kind of creates this opportunity that you're able to make your own shots, make your own chances, and also control the play. Because I felt like a lot of times when I was using the D, that unfortunately when I was in the back four, one of those players would be in the wrong position, or I'd be told to be one player or another that I didn't want to be, and it would just lead to this chaotic mess sometimes that would really look bad on a goal, and I couldn't really do anything about it. Other times, I completely take my own faults for mistakes I make when I'm defending, but there's other points too where I'm just kind of like, hands up, that wasn't really me. I could have done something maybe better to preempt that, but at the same time too, when the computer takes over and switches me to a player, it's not what I want. So with that said, I'm a little bit confused with what's going to work best for me, so I might actually switch it around a little bit in the live stream, but you'll get to see what it's like with these certain settings, and we might play around with them a bit more. But as you can see there, game against Swansea, pretty good game overall, but we do only get the point, and I was frustrated, super frustrated, because we had that chance there, Cavani, about the 86th minute or so. It was a golden chance. I should have scored that one. He's been scoring so many goals too. I was thinking, this is going in no matter what, we're good, and we're going to get 3 points here. Unfortunately, though, that was not the case, and we only get the draw of this game, which means we have 3 draws and a loss to start the season. We haven't even picked up a win yet. That is just devastating overall, and you guys are going to have to see something interesting from that at least, because we're going to play through a lot of league games, and hopefully I'm going to be able to find myself again in the live stream. 5 hours of gameplay is probably going to help overall, because I'm going to be playing so much FIFA at once that we're probably going to get on a roll. But the other funny part too that you can see is I'm going to either make it or I'm going to burn in this live stream, because we haven't been doing that great overall in the past while our streak isn't too hot. I'm excited nonetheless, because it's a chance at least to see what we can do and hopefully turn the league around, because the league isn't going too good. But the Capital One Cup, we got something going there, and the preseason was alright, so there is upsides. I guess the Champions League as well is going pretty solid, and we just need to see if we can turn the league around. It's still early, we still got lots of time, but we do not want to put ourselves in a massive hole here. So you can see Black Pants here. This is the Champions League against Roma, and I've been running into a couple glitches lately. I don't know if that's just because I've been using FIFA so much or what's going on exactly, but we'll take it. Black Pants gives us a penalty. Suarez scores a goal 2 minutes in. We're up 1-0. That's a pretty good start, I'd say. And probably the start we really needed to, because we've been having, I guess, struggles of scoring. Because if we start scoring lots of goals, then they start scoring lots of goals. It kind of seems like the past that we've had now, where the first season we didn't score a lot, but we also were playing pretty good D. I'm switching back to this more solid D, or hopefully switching back to this more solid D. And it's also seeming like less chances are going our way too, which is kind of like the trade-off that you get. But this game we're going pretty good, and it felt nice because we haven't been able to score that much. Afellay there, getting a start, hasn't been able to play that much because he's been injured, I think, for the past couple games or so, but gets a chance there. Nice goal by him, and that's 2-0 for us now at this point, and really controlling most of the play. And again, just the guy with the black pants there, or just black everything. It's kind of weird actually, because when I watched him in the game, I felt like he wasn't a player. He felt, or overall, it looked like it was a ref, right? So every time I get close to him, I'd be like, okay, I can get close to this guy. He's not going to hurt, touch me. And then I realized, wait, this is actually a defender for the other team. This isn't good. And it did pay off, though, that one time against Suarez, because he actually just chunked me down, threw me on the ground. I thought it was outside the box. Turned out it was just in the corner, and that led to our first goal there. But 3 goals, start of the first half. Didn't believe it. Really happy with it overall, though, because that means that we had that nice little cushion. And especially in the group stage, too, it's really nice to get that goal differential up, because we're playing in a not necessarily terribly tough group stage here, but we got Roma. They're a very solid team, and we also got Valencia too that are going to give us a little bit of a test. So I think we can take down Basel. They're a solid team, like a 4-star team overall, but those other two are 4.5 to 5-star type of sides, and we need to be very precautious of them, because they'll probably be able to give us a good challenge in this group stage. But the good part is we don't have any Barcelonas or Real Madrids or Bayern Munich's to really face in this group stage, which is going to be nice, because I think we can maybe make it into the round of 16 again. Hopefully not to get a terrible matchup like we did last time. With that said, though, guys, that is the end of the episode. As I said, 10 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, episode 50. Check it out. I'll have the links here for you. And if you want to find out where it is in your own time zone, just check on worldtimezone.com, and you'll be able to figure it out for yourself. Again, I am on the Pacific time zone, 10 a.m., and it'll be a 5-hour live stream. Thanks, guys, though, for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.